Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. I hope you had a good weekend so far. Lou, how are you?
Doing very well. We've got all rain up here. I don't know what you're getting down there, but
Yeah, we've got freezing rain over here,
yeah, yeah.
but it's the middle of February, so hopefully we, we can see the light at the end of the tunnel,
That's right. We'll take rain in February. That's fine.
right? So today we're going to do the last few qualities of the 35
Self-realized master.
qualities of
Yeah,
a self-realized master. Thank you, Lou.
yeah.
And this is part 6, and we're going to do qualities number 32, 33, 34, and 35. I would recommend highly that if you haven't seen the previous episodes talking about these qualities, please do so, and it'll be well worth your while. So, quality 32 refers to homelessness. Homeless. It says that a self-realized master is homeless. So, question is, what does that mean? What does it mean when the Gita says that the self-realized master is homeless? And the explanation is that he doesn't think of any place as his home, because imagine to yourself that you feel most comfortable in your home. Your home is where all your possessions are, your loved ones are, your memories are, you belong. So even if you go on vacation, for many of us, when you come back home, you say, "Ah, thank God, the vacation was nice, but I'm glad to be back home." Home sweet home, people say, right?
Right.
And for a self-realized master, he is home everywhere. No matter where he goes, he's at home because he feels fulfilled and complete everywhere he goes. So he has no home. That's one way of saying it. The other way of saying it is that he has a home everywhere. He's home everywhere. And in fact, masters, as you look, Swami Vivekananda and other of his disciples said that people don't live in any one ashram or temple for more than 3 days if they're self-realized, 3 nights. That's the most they allow themselves to stay at. So
This is
literally,
about attachment, right? This is
it's
about not. Yeah, yeah.
exactly, Lou. It means that he's not attached to any one particular place. And to prevent that attachment, because even if you're self realized or getting close to being self realized, there's always that risk of attachment. So they don't want to take the risk. So they stay 3 days and they say, you know what, much as it feels comfortable here, I'm going to move on. So they're not attached to any one particular residence. He, the self-realized master, considers the entire world his home. He's at home no matter where he is. So he has many homes. And home is where all your possessions are. So what disturbs your mind is your possessiveness towards your possessions. Keep that in mind. And a self realized master does not want to be disturbed in his mind, so he has no attachments. But you may have attachments. There was a king called King Janaka. That was Sita. You remember Ram, Lakshman, Sita?
Yes.
Sita's
Yeah.
father. Sita's father was King Janaka, the wealthiest king there was. And he was considered to be extremely wealthy but self realized. And there was another friend of Krishna's called Sudama. Sudama was very poor and has no possessions. Now, when you say Niketa, Niketa means home. In Bombay, where I grew up, Mumbai, there were many places called Niketan. Niketan means home. Shanti Niketan means a home where there's Shanti or peace. So Shanti Niketan, Niketa. So a Niketa with an A added in front of Niketa means no home. So Sudama was considered a Niketa, and King Janaka, who was extremely wealthy and had lots of possessions, was called a Niketa. Why? Even though King Janaka had so many possessions, it's because he had no possessiveness towards his possessions. He didn't really feel attached to them. So he could enjoy himself whether he had the possessions or not. Now, what happens to us? When we have attachments, we cling to them. Therefore, we cannot even enjoy them. Why? Because to enjoy them, you need to spend them.
Right.
So let's say you have a bar of French lavender soap, and you smell the soap and you say, oh my goodness, these French people really know how to make soap. This lavender soap smells so delicious. But you start using it and it starts to whittle away and get smaller. And you say, you know what? I don't want to spend this anymore. I don't want to use it up anymore. I'm not going to use it. It's going to sit on the shelf. In order to enjoy it, you've got to use it and it will get whittled down. Same thing happens with money, friends. Remember, the more money you accumulate, the poorer you really are because you cannot spend it. You're accumulating it, but you're not spending it. So, in order to enjoy money, you have to spend it. Same thing goes with anything. If you want to enjoy your possessions, you have to be able to let go of them. You can only enjoy your possessions if you're not attached to them. So, listen to that example that Gautam Jain has told us many times, that I've told you, that you have a brand new Mercedes and you're driving it, take it out of the showroom, you go through a pothole and your heart goes into your mouth and you say, oh my God.
Right.
But the same Mercedes you rented from Hertz Car Rental and you're driving it, it goes through a pothole, as Gautam Jain would say, you say, oh wow, look at these new cars. They have such wonderful shock absorbers. Nothing happens to you. You don't feel it. So you go to a hotel room, the same TV, same sheets, same towels, same walls. You care less about
Right.
anything that happens. The kids are making a mess, you don't care. But at home, you care. So if in Sudama's case, he had no wealth, no possessions, and Janaka had a lot of possessions. So both of them were called homeless or aniketa, and that's what this 32nd quality of the 35 qualities of a self-realized master is. Sorry, my mind is not 100% with me today for a number of reasons. So number 33, steady-minded. So what does steady-minded mean? Steady-minded means that he has an understanding, this self-realized master, that he is Brahman. He is absolutely steady in his thought. I wish my mind would be like that right now. In his thought that I am Brahman, aham brahmasmi, tat tvam asi. So our minds are like rats. Those are the two analogies given in the scriptures, that your mind, human mind, is like that of a rat. And we've discussed this before, that a rat or a mouse sits in front of Ganesha with his hands folded. I won't go through that again. But we've not discussed that it's also analogized to that of a monkey. Our
Yeah.
mind is that of a monkey. Have we discussed this before, Lou?
No, it's a psychological principle, right? Monkey mind, reptile mind.
Yeah.
Give an
So
idea of how it works and how it's different from our intellect.
So the mind, when you analogize it to a monkey, if you look at the behavior of a monkey, he is rarely just totally still, like a cheetah would be if he was looking at a deer that he wanted to kill. He'd be absolutely still. You don't see one muscle, one hair moving on him. Monkey is usually not like that. Monkey sits on a branch and he's jumping from one branch to the next, constantly jumping. Just like we talked about the squirrels and the rats and the rodents. But this monkey jumps from one branch to the next, one tree to the next. And if he's sitting in a cage and he's forced to sit in one branch, while he's sitting in that one place, he's fidgeting. He's moving, moving, moving. So those are two kinds of restlessness. One is from one mind, so the mind goes from one thought to the next, unrelated, like one branch, one tree to another. So, and while he's on that, he's fidgeting, meaning you're thinking of the one particular thought, but of that thought, you're thinking of different permutations and combinations, different facets of the thought. So all minds, our minds are restless like a monkey. Chanchal, it's called. Restless, unsteady, fickle. It rambles. Our minds ramble. There's no direction. You can't focus it. That focus comes with practice, constant practice, meditation, being able to focus your mind on one thing and not having other thoughts and desires in your mind. So a spiritual seeker has a definite goal through meditation. A very steady mind doesn't allow it to ramble. And you'll see that this gets better and better with time as you practice your meditation. So quality number 34 is endowed or endued with faith. Faith, which is Shraddha in Sanskrit. Shraddha is different from faith. Faith is not doesn't really give it the full quality, because a self-realized master is full of shraddha, full of devotion. Shraddha means more than faith, the capacity to study, as you're doing now, listening, reflecting, understanding what you're thinking about, imbibing, taking it in, and absorbing them into your personality until you transform yourself and live these values to right to the very end. That's Shraddha. Shraddha means dedication, more than just faith. And the last quality, which is
Sounds like the difference between faith and what you're talking about, excuse me, is knowledge, because faith is faith in something without knowing.
yeah, so yes, you are getting the knowledge with
Yep.
the faith, with the belief that
Yep.
whoever's telling you this, if it's the scriptures telling you this, I'm just a mouthpiece for the scriptures, then you have faith that you have belief that you believe what the scriptures is telling you is correct, but you're not taking it at face value. You're
Right.
questioning it, you're reflecting it, and as you say, you're getting the knowledge, and with that knowledge, you're analyzing what, because you just telling you something, you become like a fanatic that you
Right.
just say, okay, I believe it because that's been told to me. That's not right. It's not firm. It's not shraddha in your mind. The knowledge that you get, if you analyze it, reflect it, understand it, ask questions, then you become a believer in it. Then it's because of you having sifted it through all of these parameters. That becomes the shraddha that you imbibe in. Thanks, Lou.
Yep.
So quality 35 is regarding me, meaning regarding me, Brahman, as supreme. So focus on the self, the Atman, that is me. Don't think of yourself as the doctor. You are actually, your mind is the doctor, your intellect is the doctor. What you do is that of medicine and practicing the skill of a doctor, but you are the Atman. You are the supreme. Regarding me as supreme means you focus on me being Brahman, not my mind, not my intellect. It's that silly mind that keeps wandering, and distracting us. You, as the Atman, are steady within. Regard yourself as completely supreme. The immortal Dharma. That's really what even the Gita says in verse 20. It says, the law of living is eternal dharma. Eternal dharma. You remember what we said dharma was?
Yeah.
Dharma is the essence of something. Your essence is dharma. So that's the end of chapter 12. Very important point that we have reached now, Lou, because if you remember, we said that the Gita is divided into 18 chapters.
Yes.
Each one of those chapters is put into a third. So the first 6 chapters is 1/3, the second 6 chapters is a second third, and now next time when we start chapter 13, we will be on the last third of the Gita. I can't believe that we've come so far.
Yeah. Recap those three. What the three segments
Yeah,
focus on.
I wanted to do that, if I may, Lou, with your permission, to do that at the beginning of chapter 13.
Okay, great.
I want to tell everybody that the next episode, which will be episode 118, am I right, Lou?
Yes.
118 is a field trip. So I hope you all
I
listen.
love
I think
these.
it seems like a lot of people like them, because
Yeah.
that's where we get the maximum number of people viewing. This is going to be about how the Vedic culture spread throughout the world. This is going to be about how, before Christianity, Islam, Judaism started, which were the 3 Abrahamic religions, the only religion that was there all across the world was the Vedic religion. And these scriptures, the Upanishads, Gita, etc., and they spread throughout the world. Buddha then took issue with some of the concepts and some of the sayings, and he started his own religion, Buddhism, which is very, very similar to Hinduism. And the Buddhists and the Hindus were like oil and water together. As peaceful as Buddhism is and Hinduism is, they fought wars together.
Wow.
And when they spread to countries like Greece and Great Britain and France and Scandinavian countries, they actually set up camps near each other, and they fought and they battled with each other because it was like a mongoose and a snake fighting with
Right.
each other. But we'll talk about that in our field trip, and I hope you will enjoy it. I hope you'll join us for that. Episode 118, I believe. So thank you very much, folks, and we'll see you next time.